It's a great day, my amazing CEOs. Welcome to the CEO Sales Huddle, a place you get to have a meeting with your sales department so you can focus not only on your sales strategy, but your sales structure and your sales systems. And thank you so much for allowing us to stream directly into your home or onto your mobile device, especially during these uncertain times that we're all living in right now. And I always like to share every morning we get started one of our core philosophies. And one of our core philosophies is success leaves clues. So every morning we look at a case study and we say, wait a minute, what has this CEO had to face? What were their challenges? What were their hurdles? What were some things that did really, really well? And then how can we apply those best principles in our life? Because if success leaves clues, certainly we can walk in the footprints of someone else. So let's get started with our case study this morning. And this morning, we're going to talk about NULASTIN. So welcome to a simple story about Leah Garcia, a TV host and entrepreneur who created something amazing. She started NULASTIN, a company that's changing how we think about beauty. Let's dive into Leah's journey, why it matters, and what you as a CEO can take away from that allow you to not only generate revenue, but take your sales department to an entirely different level than where it is right now. So Leah faced a personal challenge that led to a big question. How can I help people, help people look and feel their best even as they age? She noticed that as people grow older, we stop making elastin, a protein that keeps our skin, hair, and even our eyelashes looking great. The problem wasn't just about beauty. It was a call to action that demanded a fresh, new approach. So you needed something unique. You needed a different sales strategy. You needed a different sales message. And did you know that by the age of 20, the human body stops making elastin? Now, Leah experienced effects all for herself. When she found herself faced with Bell palsy, wow, been there, which made her skin droop and lose elasticity. Over time, she also saw hair loss, which was tough to handle. These real-life challenges inspired her to find a solution, not just for herself, but for everyone else too. So this was like, how do I solve a problem? How do I make a difference? How do I have impact? Listen, as a CEO. So Leah found her answer. It was an Estoplex, a special ingredient for her products that has shaken up the beauty market. So we turned it upside down. But how does this relate to sales? You've got to be asking that question. Leah's secret was creating a unique sales cycle, a unique sales message. Much like a reliable sales system in any business, she introduced NULASTIN to the world with confidence, clarity, a sales strategy, a sales message, relying not only on her products, but her unique sales position. That was her foundation for success. The sales strategy was simple but powerful. Be authentic, focus on special qualities, and always deliver what you promise, solving the client's problem. See, my big takeaway for you as a CEO, something we can all learn from Leah's story, is how important it is to have a strong sales system, a strong sales strategy, and clarity in your message. Just like Leah didn't give up creating NULASTIN, CEOs need to build a dependable sales system to really grow the business, grow the sales department, have impact, and succeed. That means being clear about what makes your product or service special and consistently telling your company's story through your sales message. You do that, wow, and you will see your sales go up, 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 and away. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. It is an honor and a privilege to serve you. And every single morning as we get started, we love to always share, and I think it's most important, by the way, our core mantra. And our core mantra remains consistent. It remains the same. And our core mantra is focus on sales. Focus on sales. Focus on sales. Now, I want you to step back and I want you to repeat those words with me right now. Focus on sales. And our key mantra is, if you can't focus on sales, you can't be in business. Now, you might be saying, why, Shay? Why? Because sales, at the end of the day, is the oxygen for every great business in history. So you think about it. Without oxygen, we don't survive. Without air, we no longer live. So business needs oxygen in order to be successful. That's what sales is. The point I want to make and the message I want to make right now is that selling at the end of the day is really serious business. Sales is serious business. And as we get started with that every morning, we also go back and look at our pledge. And our pledge to our sales department is really three things: that we will learn, earn, and return. Go ahead and jot this down in your notes. I have to learn something new in order to earn new revenue from current clients in order to get new and old clients to return. So I must learn, I must earn, and I must return. And that takes us to the other side. It takes us to a very important part that we do, and that is, what are the objectives? Like when you have your sales meeting with your sales team, what's the one area you're focused on? And one area you really focus on is three core objectives. Number one, what's the progress in the sales department? So you've got to have this meeting when you meet with your sales department. Number two, what are the roadblocks that are out there? What do we need to be concerned about? What do we need to be check in on? And number three, focus on the 5 sales pillars that every CEO must know and understand in order to be successful. Sales pillar number 1, you must have a one-page CEO sales plan. Sales pillar number 2, you must understand the sales cycle. Sales pillar number 3 is you must have a sales message. Sales pillar number 4 is, we'll focus on that for a whole segment today, and that is really understanding the CEO sales dashboard, something that we've created so you can measure, you can manage, you can track, you can adjust, you can allocate the resources where it needs to be. And then last but not least, a 7-figure sales team. Without that 7-figure sales team, it just does not exist. So with that being said, for those folks that are tuning in, and you tune in every single morning, I'm so glad that you're here. I love to connect with you, by the way. And one of the ways we can connect is you can look below the video and put hashtag I'm here. Hashtag I'm here. Now I respond to every hashtag. I love connecting with you. And it's so cool. I know you're a CEO, by the way, and maybe you're on a platform and you can't do it, okay? Maybe you're watching the replay. You can't be here at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every morning. So you show up when you can watch it. Maybe it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe it's 9 o'clock. Go ahead and put hashtag replay. Hashtag replay. That's the bat signal that you and I were in this conversation right now. And if you're watching on one of our on-demand streaming platforms, and I hope you are, Roku, Apple TV, YouTube, maybe you're on one of our broadcast podcasts or our syndicated platforms. We're on so many different networks now. You can go ahead and right below go to social media, type in @IamShayBrown, @IamShayBrown, and drop me a DM. Let me know that you're in the building, you're in this message. Now, the question always comes up, and I think it's a very fair, relevant question. What's the purpose of the CEO Sales Huddle? Why does it exist? The CEO Sales Huddle is a place where CEOs gather to understand how to sell more faster. And not only sell more faster, but how to do it with less effort. How to do it in a way that makes it easy and simple for you to be able to do all the things that you really, really, really want to do. And so we have a big why. Our big why is really threefold. It's about sales growth, it's about sales accountability, and it's about consistency. Now, I know you're already committed that you're here. Now the question is, how do you get consistent sales results over and over and over again? So to make that a reality, we get together for 15 minutes a day. And in this 15 minutes, you tune in. Now, there's only 1,440 minutes in every day. You think about that. There's 1,440 minutes in every day, and you're only going to share 1% of your day. So 1% of your day, you show up, and in that 1% of the day, we're focused on the one area to help build your business, and that is sales, by the way. Now, what is our overall objective? Is to generate $100,000 a month of consistent, predictable, reliable revenue. This is over and beyond whatever you're earning today. You're in this conversation. As a result of being in this conversation, you earn an extra $100,000 a month. And I want you to imagine how your business would be different, how your life would be different with an extra $100,000 a month poured into your bank account month after month after month. How would your life be different than what it is right now? Now, in order to do that, we got to get there. We've got to measure, we've got to manage, we got to check what we need. So we created something called the CEO Sales Dashboard because our clients had a problem. Shay, I need to measure. Shay, I need to know where to allocate resources. Shay, I need to know where to adjust my sales processes. Shay, where do I go? Where do I look? What should I be measuring? There's so many moving parts. We solved that problem. We boiled it down to 5 key areas. Now, there's other areas you can measure in the business. They still have as high as a priority. Sometimes there's unequals among equals. So let's look at those 5 core areas that we have. Area number 1 was the CEO Sales Dashboard. Now, if you don't have the CEO Sales Dashboard, you can go over to www.ceosalesdashboard.com. Again, www.ceosalesdashboard.com. You can download it. And we're going to take a look at leads, appointments, offers, deals, and repeat business. So there's 5 categories. Here's the philosophy again. What gets measured gets managed. What gets managed gets better. So let's take a look at the CEO dashboard. When we take a look at the CEO dashboard, it looks something like this. So you can go pull it up right now. You can go to ceosalesdashboard.com and download it. You can go all the way across the top, find the day's dates. And you can come down and say, well, how many leads came into my sales department yesterday? How many appointments came into my sales department yesterday? How many appointments did I run yesterday in my sales department yesterday? You can look at the offers that were made in your sales department yesterday. Now, here's what we do now. We can narrow it down to one area. And let's just do a quick deep dive in one area. Let's look at deals. Now, you can track this. This is an Excel sheet. You can modify it. You can add your products in there. You can add what's important to you, your highest priority products. But let's take a look at deals. And I want you to look in your CRM and your database yesterday and ask yourself, how many deals were closed yesterday for your number 1 product? How many deals were closed yesterday for your number 2 product? Now, also, we have pending. Now, pending I always put in 3 categories: hot, warm, and cold. Hot meaning, well, we're looking for this thing to happen in the next 0 to 10 days. Warm, 10 to 20 days. And cold is typically 30 days and above. I don't have time to get into that right now, but here's what we do know. What gets measured gets managed, and what gets managed gets better. Isn't that a good feeling, by the way? And then we're going to go and look at the other side, and we're going to celebrate our wins. Now that we know our numbers, we're going to say what's working really, really well. So let's go over to the other side. And powerful people ask powerful questions. Why? Because questions stay focused, and in this life, you get what you focus on. So our top 3 questions are, number 1, what are you most proud of yesterday in the sales department? Number 2, what was your biggest accomplishment yesterday in the sales department? And number 3, what do you really want to brag about? Like, you want to come in here right now, and if you could just brag about the sales department yesterday, what you accomplished in the sales department yesterday, what took place in the sales department yesterday, what would you really, really just want to brag about as the CEO of the company? You'll raise your hand and say, Che, check this out. And then there's the next step. And the next step is, well, it's a look at any hurdles that we had. Every day is not rainbow, cupcakes, and unicorns. We know that. So now we're going to look at what hurdles were out there that was kind of holding us back. Powerful people ask powerful questions. Our 3 questions is, what was your biggest roadblock yesterday? Number 2, what's preventing you today from moving forward? And number 3, what's the one thing you can do that if you did it, it would move your life and or business forward? It would take it to another level. And by going to another level, it would change where you are today. You see, my message to you today is focus on the CEO Sales Dashboard. Focus on the activities that produce results. We used to, back in the day, call it TIPA, T-I-P-A, top income producing activities. What are the activities that produce the money in the business? And it comes down to what's on the CEO Sales Dashboard, which is how many leads came in, how many appointments were we able to run, and then where did we make an offer that made sense and sense. You do that, and you will see your sales continue to go up, 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 and away. With that being said, you're incredible. You're an amazing CEO. You're a CEO that's making an impact. You are a game changer CEO. You're someone that wants to make a difference. In order to do that, focus on the sales department. You do that, and you will see your sales go up, 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 and away. With that being said, my name, by the way, is Shay Brown, host of the CEO Sales Huddle. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve you. Thanks for allowing us to stream directly into your office or into your mobile device. We appreciate that. And I'll see you, well, on the other side. Peace.